So today we're going to talk about perimeter. And perimeter is essentially just the distance around the outside of a polygon. And all you do to calculate it is you just add all the sides. The one thing that can come up that's a little tricky is you may not see all the sides, but remember you got to add every single side. Now, circumference is the word that's used for the perimeter of a circle, because the circle is technically not a polygon. So, we need a fancy word like circumference, but essentially it's just the distance around the outside of the circle. And there's two formulas for it. Circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, or you could also say circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. And one way to think about this is the diameter is twice the radius, so these are essentially just the same formula. Depends on what you get, which one's easier to use. So let's look at these examples down below. So if we look at this quadrilateral here, what we have to do is just add all four sides. So we have 8, 5, 7, and 4. So 8 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4 gives you 24 inches. And that's the perimeter. So the perimeter of that is 24 inches. Figure 2 is a circle. So a circle, we'd want to use one of these two formulas. Since they give us the radius right here, I'm just going to use this formula because why not? It's got the r right there. So we just substitute circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius, or 2 times pi times the radius is 2, which is equal to 4 pi, which, if you're rounding it to the nearest tenth, gives you approximately 12.6 inches. And that's your circumference. Now, sometimes we can look at a figure and, you got a lot of sides to figure out here. And essentially, it's the same thing, though. You're just going to add up all the sides. So I'm going to start down here at 10, and I'm going to go around counterclockwise and just make sure we get all the sides. All right, so there's 10, 3, 3, 6, 3, 3, 2, 3. Oh, no! Check it out. We got to find this side right here. And also, we got to figure out what this side is right here. So there's two sides we need to figure out first. The blue one is pretty easy because these are all rectangles. They have the right angles right here. So you could think of this as one long rectangle. And if this is 3, well, this also has to be 3 centimeters. So we have 3 centimeters. Great. All right, the red one's a little trickier. So the red one, if you think of the red one as a piece of this whole distance across, the whole distance across has to be 10, okay? So here, let's just mark this thing off here. That whole thing is 10 for sure. This part right here is 3. From here, if you trace this down, this has to be 3. And then from this 2 up here, this has to be 2. So one thing you can look at is the whole thing's 10. You already have 3, 3, and 2, which is 8. So what's left for this is 2 centimeters for that piece right there. So all that's left to do right now is just add up all the sides. So let's add them. Doing it real quick, I got a perimeter of 42 centimeters. Is it right? Probably. I just added them all in my head, and I believe that's all the numbers. So that's the perimeter of this irregular figure here.